You've probably made this mistake before, and I can't stress enough how important it is to keep in mind. Because the last thing you want to do when you've just met a woman you are attracted to and are moving along with is exercise some kind of hurriedness in pursuit of an emotional goal. In other words, when you are blinded by transient emotions, you are liable to fasten things rather than slow them down, which inevitably gets you in a lot of trouble and undermines the seductive process. Not only because, among numerous other things, making a hasty emotional investment when you've just met a person is inherently foolish and decreases your perceived value as a man in her eyes, but also because it quickly becomes a liability that is very burdensome on your time management. Any busy man who has things to do and places to be would not have such leisure to spend constantly texting a woman or placing that much investment in someone who has not been sufficiently vetted. Your investment should grow in proportion to how harmoniously her values and innate character align with your own framework and standard, not in accordance to whatever you are feeling at any given moment. Preserving an element of mystery throughout the early stages of a potential relationship not only builds up tension, but also magnifies your presence in her imagination, making that much more of a lasting impression on her. Notwithstanding, this buys you time to court her effectively and exercise your selectivity and choice. At the same time, not rushing things through and sabotaging an otherwise enriching experience with the woman you are actually attracted to. Neither of these elements can kill attraction or push women away in and of themselves. On the contrary, they tend to expand the range of emotions a woman will experience in those very early stages, giving you more leeway to heighten that desire. Hurry, furthermore, tends to reek of some kind of desperation. Think about it. If a man truly had the facility to choose and was purely content with himself beyond the scope of immediate opportunity, would he really be in a hurry to get it over with? Or would he relax his senses, take time to evaluate if such a woman would be worthy of his attention and investment? In reality, this kind of man wouldn't merely give his attention, investment, and potential resources away for the sake of getting something sooner, of which he already has, or of getting something better, of which he has already gotten and has plenty of opportunity to do so with other women of equal caliber. Rarely, if ever, can you discern a woman's true colors from the few times of meeting her. And by the way, some men never do due to their blind ignorance. That's why a premature investment on your part only signals a lack of experience. With wisdom comes a certain calmness and assuredness that regardless of what the outcome may be, your value or sense of self-worth remains unaffected. This is what some men would call outcome independence, which is basically to be totally disconnected from the desired outcome, that your failure to reach it doesn't really impact your internal state. It remains unharmed, unchanged. Does that sound familiar to you? I would be curious to hear more about your thoughts on that. And if you have any questions, make sure to leave them below and we'll speak soon.